and welcome to Latropeth Language Tutorial 9, where we're looking at possessives. The sound has changed somewhat as I've acquired a new microphone headset contraption. I might try and make some adjustments moving forward. Just to set the context, some examples of possession in English: the man's hat, my hat, the hat of the man's arm, the man has a hat, the man has an arm, thankfully. So there's different ways you can express possession. So you can have a phrase with two nouns where one is representing the possessor and the other is representing the possessee, as in the man's hat. You can have a possessive term based on a personal pronoun, so my, which is based on I, so my hat. And there's similar concepts in Latropeth. A basic possessive relationship between nouns is formed by placing the noun denoting the possessor after the noun denoting the possessee. The preposition ku is often added before the possessor noun. So there's a reversal of the order that you see in English. So in English, the cat's food. In Latropeth, it's going to be food, cat. So asawotoyi, the woman's food. And in the second example, baku kuiki weye, wing, I've incorporated the preposition ku prior to the noun representing the possessor, as that preposition is often incorporated in these expressions. So now let's have a look at some possessive forms based on personal pronouns. So in English, just a refresher on the personal pronouns. For example, I, you, he, she, it, we, etc. And possessive forms based on the personal pronouns. My glass. Now in Latropeth, first and second person personal pronouns are utilized to form possessive adjectives when placed directly after the noun in Latropeth. As with non-pronominal possessives, so that means as in possessives that are not incorporating forms based on personal pronouns, ku can be placed before the possessor. And just a refresher of the personal pronouns in Latropeth, some of them. Remember, first person is the person doing the speaking, second person is the person being spoken to. So first person singular, amu, I. First person plural, amuba or amuba kayatu. So remember, you have exclusive and inclusive forms. So exclusive, we not including you. Inclusive, we including you. Second person singular, atu, you. Second person plural, atuba, you plural or yous. So an example below that, asawu kuamu. That would translate as my food. There is no third person pronoun employed as a possessor reference in Latropeth as such. The noun itself can be used, otherwise the preposition ku placed directly after the possessee in isolation implies third person possession. So what that essentially means is there's no words equivalent to his or her or its in Latropeth. The options you have are, you can explicitly spell out the whole phrase without a pronoun. Asawu kunakum, the man's food. You can completely omit the word for man, which represents the possessor, and not put anything in its place but leave the preposition in there. Asawu. And then you're implying a third person possessor. When the noun possessee is referring to a friend, associate or kin, the preposition ku is replaced with pu. As with ku, pu is often used in isolation to imply a third person possessor. It's essentially the same as what we've just seen. It's just if what is being possessed is a friend or a kin or associate, the preposition is replaced with another preposition. And obviously it's a different understanding of the term possession. So when I say my elder brother, I obviously don't own my elder brother, it's just the expression. So here's some examples. Without any personal pronoun reference, a phrase incorporating possession with two nouns, the possessee followed by the possessor, where the possessee is indicating a kin term. Launakum, the man's elder brother. Now in the middle you've got lawopu and nothing else. so there's no possessor noun in there at all. So it's understood that it's a third person possessor, so you can translate it as his elder brother. It could actually only be his in this case, because the term lao is only used by males. Females would use a different term. Then at the bottom, you've got a phrase incorporating a personal pronoun form, amu, and of course indicating possession. So, lao puamu, my elder brother. Alienable versus inalienable possession. Alienable possession is where whatever you're possessing, it can be transferred to a different owner, in theory. So my food could be given to you and it could become your food. Inalienable possession, on the other hand, it's non-transferable. So my hand, at least under conventional circumstances, that's not going to become your hand, so it's inalienable. If you want to emphasize this distinction in Latropeth, you can, using the prepositions kotayom for alienable possession and kolayom for inalienable possession. Examples: asawo kotayomamu, my food; pewa kolayomamu, my hand. Expressing possession with a verb. So there is a verb meaning to own, which is fuyayis. And here is an example of fuyayis in use. Fuyayis is a transitive verb, which means it will be followed by an object. So the verb itself will have two prefixes representing the subject and the object. The subject will be the person doing the possessing, and the object will be the thing possessed. So we've got amuni fuyayis kayim foye. As I own the bowl, or I own a bowl. And now we have the equivalent of expressing to have in English. So to have is a less strong way of indicating possession. It's not as strong as I own or I possess. So the equivalent verbs in Latropeth, kuyis and puyis. The kuyis puyis distinction is the same as ku and pu in the previous examples. Kuyis, where you're talking about just in general terms; puyis, where you're talking about kin or an associate or a friend, etc. The structure, the mechanics of the structure are a bit different to English. It's better understood if you think of it this way. So if you want to say something like I have a bowl in Latropeth, what you're literally saying is a bowl is to me. So let's just have a look at this construction here. So we're saying I have a bowl. So you've got nikuyis kayim foyeyema kayamu. So the verb has a subject which is the bowl. So the bowl is what's actually being to me. So it's the subject of the verb, and the prefix will be noun class 9 to which bowl belongs. And then the second part of it is actually the part that's saying to me. Yema means to. As per the previous lecture on prepositions, if the preposition is followed by an animate noun, in other words a noun that's representing a living thing, then it takes kai on the end. So therefore it becomes yema kai, amu is me. So the whole thing in sequence, niko yiski yim foye yema kayamu, would translate as I have the bowl or I have the bowl. Which takes us to the end of this lesson. Thanks for watching.